Marcus Powe here, and I'd like to welcome Paul Kingston. Thank you, Emma. A wonderful opportunity today to start the webinar series off to about what can we do with choices? What can we get up to? And what I'd like to really talk to you about today is, as Paul and Emma will, is imagination. We have these steps that we go through. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what you can do with your training, your education, your experience, your connections? I wonder whether you're going to imagine through these steps, these webinars. I wonder what we can come up with. A view of the world. Entrepreneurship. Technopreneurship. What is that? That's something that we practice, that we support each other with. You don't suddenly do a webinar, a series of webinars, a course, a certificate, a degree. It's something that we do in terms of our community, our company, our organisation. We practice it. You become an entrepreneur. You become a technopreneur. The only constant we face is change. Everything changes. Most of us don't like change, but entrepreneurs and technopreneurs know change is coming. Either we get out of the way without change, or we in fact embrace change. The one big message really for our first webinar today in the overview is the process of creating or seizing an opportunity. What can you see? What can't others see? How come they can't see it? And then pursue it. You have to be fit, emotionally fit, strong, because you're going to be rejected. That won't work. Someone's done it before. You have to be strong. Physically fit, we need the energy to make things happen. And then the resources. What's our most precious resource? Time. Everyone's too busy. Entrepreneurs, technopreneurs make time. They look after time. Everything should be in time. The way we think from school, things happen for a reason, which leads to a system where everything fits. Therefore, the world is logical and well ordered. I'd like to bring everyone now back to Earth, because I don't think that ever happens on Earth unless you're living in a special place. Look at this, the way it is. We live and operate in an imperfect world. The marketplace is chaotic, completely out of control. In this chaos, uncertainties arise. The entrepreneur, the technopreneur goes, I can see it. How come they can't? I know what's going to happen. Change is on its way. Can you imagine being energetic, a sense of urgency, wanting to make something happen? Can you imagine where creativity is considered normal? We have to measure, celebrate and reward our efforts. Can we cheer someone else's success? Can we get really pleased and excited when we see someone, our friends, our colleagues, our family, try something and they're successful? The driver is passion, the tools are education. Part of this wonderful formula is your experience with Cisco and what we're going to explore over these 8 webinars, the tools and mindset of the technopreneur. Anyone too busy? I'm too busy. Doing what? Or should we perhaps be selfish and start to think? Think about what is and what could be. Think about what you want to do with your skills so far. Do you have a plan? Mark Twain. I was seldom able to see an opportunity until it ceased to be one. This is called hindsight. I don't know about you, but I've had that opportunity many times where I've thought of something, I've been too busy, I've been bogged down with the details, I've done nothing about it, and 6 months later, someone else has done it. I think, why did they do it? What could they do or see that I couldn't? Maybe they are the entrepreneurs. Maybe they are the technopreneurs. So how is your thinking? I remember talking to someone recently who was in the finance industry, and they said to me, I'm too busy to think, and I nearly fell off my chair laughing. I said, how could you be too busy to think? I said, you need to get back into the habit of thinking. So what he did is opened up his diary and put a little note in, tomorrow between 1 and 2, must think. I couldn't believe that he did that, but he got into the habit. So how's your thinking? Are you trying to think about what was, what is, or what could be? My challenge to all of you, and as we go through this series, all of those. We don't plan or design our thinking, and we'll go through that as well, and positions people as adversaries. When we have meetings, I'm right, you're wrong. My idea is better than yours. Perhaps we could think together on a problem. Perhaps we could think around the issues, the challenges, the ups and downs, the ins and the outs, and maybe we can solve that problem as quickly as possible. And there I refer back to our most precious resource, time. Being in action thinking, empowers you and your team. And why do we work in teams? So we can achieve more. Communication, the biggest challenge I've seen in my travels all through Southeast Asia over the years. It also reduces conflict and friction. We think through what could be to avoid, minimise drama, risk and chaos. And what happens is that you can become more innovative and creative as we go through. Innovation, making it happen again and again and again. It's a bit like life cycles. It's a bit like the software we see, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, idea plus idea plus idea. My challenge will be in this series, can you connect ideas? Can you create advantage? Can you in fact make your choices happen? Thinking and effort. Here's a little quiz for you. There are 4 things that drive opportunity, create opportunity, get in the way of opportunity. Is it your organisation? Is it your team? Is it the environment? Or is it in fact you? I wonder which one you might think is the one that you would always be careful of, the one that you need to consider most. The answer is the environment. I wonder whether you were too close looking at the team, your organisation or yourself. If you zoom out and look at the big picture, that is where the choices lie. So how to start a business? And we're going to talk to Paul a couple of questions after his conversation today about how did you start? So many different people start for different reasons. Maybe someone's not doing it as well as you could. Maybe technology has jumped the current offering. Maybe no one has even thought of it. And I know a lot of entrepreneurs think, why hasn't someone done this? Go back to the Mark Twain comment, they just haven't done it. A great idea. All ideas are valuable, they're fragile, they're special, they should be cared for, but really all ideas are worthless unless you learn how to turn that idea into an opportunity. And that opportunity is executed and can be measured and can be made repeatable and can be done again and again. But we tend to get in the way of opportunities and ideas all the time. And we'll talk about this in the series. So what's created it? Often the environment. What will the competitors do? And I can't believe it. So many times people say to me, there isn't any competition. There's always competition. Is the market large enough? I see many young entrepreneurs come to me in my role at RMIT University as entrepreneur in residence, and they say, the market is massive, which is my favourite word. It's massive. And I say, is that smaller or larger than astronomical? Or is it huge? Do you have any evidence? Have you done any surveys? And really, when I get to it, these young entrepreneurs who are passionate, well-educated, working hard, they've actually asked their 3 best friends and their parents, who have all said to them, yes, we'll buy one of those. That indeed is the size of their market, 5 people. Research. So how are you going to stay in business? Luck, planning, energy, enthusiasm. And these are some of the ingredients that we'll explore with our guests over this series. Got a great idea? I think we all have. When I was working with, you may have heard of Edward de Bono, who is famous for ideas and creativity. And when I was working with him, I was surprised. I thought people always struggled with ideas. They couldn't have them. They couldn't think of new things or old things. What I've found is that we have too many ideas. We just don't know what to do with them, how to filter them, how to select them, how to turn them into opportunities, and how to make them happen. Do you know how to create a team? You might have done it in sports you played, but it's quite different when we work professionally. What are the rewards? And I'm driven by the two forms of rewards. Obviously, the tangible rewards. Will you make money? Will you make more than you spend? But what I like to think about and what drives that passion of many entrepreneurs is, what is your social dividend? Will you make a difference? Will you affect a community? Will you affect an organisation? Will you, in fact, affect your country? To me, the legacy is very important. It drives so many entrepreneurs I know, and I've been lucky enough to work from Vietnam all through Southeast Asia into New Zealand, and I have hundreds and hundreds of people I work with all around the world. And what the common theme is the tangible reward, the money, and more importantly these days, what difference can you make? And then that terrible question, as you can see, how would you start? What would you do first? What would you do second? Building. We've started, we're about to build. We explore some tools, some techniques, some tricks, things you shouldn't do and things that you must do. The money. And there, as most of you may have seen some interesting movies about, and I think there's a famous line there, show me the money. The problem with money is there's so much of it in the marketplace, believe it or not, but money looks for good people, because people affect the multiplication of money. People set the price. People do the service. People do the innovation. The money, if you will, is the glue that keeps it together. Now, here's a list on the screen, as you can see, about where you get money from. There are many, many sources of money looking for great teams with great idea, or individuals who can turn ideas into opportunities. This is a fascinating area to work in. Valuable idea. And here's some little check marks that we explore a little later on about what are we going to do, keeping ahead of the competition. It's ferocious out there. As if a competitor's going to say, come into Singapore, take my livelihood away, take my customers away. Are you ready for the competition? Some classic techniques here about legal, trademark, registered designs, etc., alliances, or just staying ahead with the next big version. Testing. Are you sure? Here's some simple checks. We tick the box, literally. The first step, the who, what, why, where, and how much. A simple project plan. Steps are small, achievable, and measurable. What we've got to think about now is, what can we do with the least effort? Minimum effort for maximum results. This is crucial, small adjustments as we start to drive through. Driving for growth, there's a high technology device on the screen there. What's changed? Has anything changed? But we need some dials, some indicators. Sales, profitability, cash flow, break even. Can you imagine driving your motorcycle or your car without those dials? You need to know how much fuel you have. You need to know how fast you're going. You need the instruments so you are in control. Can you do it? Implementation. I can talk about it. I can get passionate about it. I've got the plans. I've got the technologies. This is where it gets hard. Show me you can do it. One of the ways we're going to explore is about providing your expertise, your knowledge of how to be a contractor, provide services, products, management of expectations, contracts which will be different in different jurisdictions and countries, and then how do we market contracting services? How do people come to us? Market pull, not market push. Review. How do we know we got there? Should we keep doing the same things? Should we perhaps adjust, modify, or alter? This is what I'm really interested in about being reactive or proactive. Embrace the change. Start to think about what we're doing with the Technopreneurship program. We build it, we reduce risk, we manage relationships, but most importantly, do you do what you say? Do you deliver on your promise? Most people try to over-deliver. If you manage my expectations, I will come back. It's very interesting, I find, over the years, and I've been doing this for a very long time. Sometimes it's too long, I think, not at all. What does the customer want or need? Often they don't know. How good a listener are you? Can you stop talking and listen? Most innovation, surprisingly, and this may surprise you, comes from our customers. Can you listen? Eye on the market, who's there, and most importantly, at no cost. How to compete. To me, there are three ways to compete. The easiest, the cheapest, the most powerful, the most memorable is great service, managing expectations. The next one is great process. How easy is it to do business with you, the way you do business? And then the great product or the service. The easiest is the red, the hardest is the blue. Most people I know work with the blue first, and they think, why is it so hard? One of the easiest ways to start business is have a look at the customer service and then start to think about, can I manage expectations? Can I deliver on my promise? Three ways to compete. So there to me is a way to start to think about the webinar series, a way to start to think about, hey, hang on, I might have an idea here, or hey, I might be starting this now. Here's some steps I can follow to increase my choices. We're not about turning people into entrepreneurs or technopreneurs. What we're trying to do is open some doors for you. The keys to open those doors are in the webinar series. All we ask you to do is pick up the keys, open a door, have a good look. Can you imagine what is on the other side?